Hi, everyone. This is Suzanne Barnhurst, your professor for COM320 for this spring session. I had to think for a minute which session we were in. This is the first wrap-up video of I hope will be at least 6 wrap-up videos for each unit in this course. I found in the past that students, if they don't get the concepts early, understand the core concepts early on the course, they have a difficult time with the final project. So something new, instead of answering everyone's discussion forums by typing, what I'll do is I'll answer a few throughout the semester, and then I'll develop this wrap-up video to kind of identify and discuss some of the areas that you did really well in and some of the areas that I still think you need a little more understanding. So what I'll do with these videos is post them in the actual discussion forum and send them to you via an announcement so that you have an opportunity to look at them before you post your last posts on Sunday. This week is an exception because of the number of things that I had going on with the changes that we have to do with the online class this semester. So COM320 is a course about how we can create messages that stick. That's why the name of the book is Made to Stick. I was looking at the book over there, I'm sorry. They are messages that are sticky messages, or messages that are understood over time. They are understood, they persist over time, and they change something about how we think or act. Okay, so there's 3 things that a sticky message does. It's understood. When somebody delivers it, it's understood. It persists over time, which means you remember it, and it changes something about the way we think or act. So we started this course with an intro to Heath and Heath's theory on how to deliver a sticky message. The goal of the course is to help you take a complex idea, like many of you mentioned in the introductions, and make those complex ideas simple so that they achieve the goal of being sticky. Simple is expressing the core in a compact way. So the example that the text gave is Southwest Airlines' core message is the low fare airline. The core is the intent or the purpose of the idea. What is important about your message? What's the priority? So when you identify your message that you're going to deliver to someone, you have to determine what's the actual core of the message, what's the intent, why are you telling them this, or what's the priority. So let's look at the Southwest example. The intent or purpose of the Southwest message is to tell you they are the low fare airline, right? That's their core message. Note how the compact message has 2 components. It has what and a how or a why. So the what is the airplane and how or why is low fare. So what that's telling you then is if you're looking for an airline next time, you'll remember, hey, I saw the thing that said Southwest is the low fare airline. I'm going to check them out first. So it's an easy message to remember. It gives you the core message from Southwest to you that they're an airline and they have low fares. Very, very simple, right? So an example from the forum, 2 examples from the forums this week, where Vicki did an organization called Evernote. The core message on opening the page for Evernote was your notes, period, organized, period, effortless, period. That's very complex, simple, isn't it? It's getting right down to the core of the idea. They're telling you that they can help you organize your notes with very little effort. You really don't need to know much else, but I'm sure that that core message engages you enough that you want to go find out a little bit more about it. It also goes on to describe this Evernote as the best note-taking app for organizing your notes. Use Evernote, which I think was a really good example of a good core message. Again, it's compact and right to the purpose or intent. The second one was Brittany chose LifeWise Pet Food. And that core tagline, as soon as you open the page, it says holistic dog and cat nutrition. well, from my perspective, you can't get more direct than that, more core than that. The company obviously provides something, we don't know whether it's food or supplements, that is holistic in nature for dogs and cats. It maximizes, and then the tagline for LifeWise is maximizing your pet's quality of life. So that gives us a little more information and says, so we're offering a healthy dog and cat food that's going to help you have your dog or cat or dog around longer, maximize your quality of life. So if you'll notice, these core messages, these core ideas are not paragraphs. They're not a whole paragraph about here's what we do, here's how we do it, this is what you should know. It's not that. It's a usually very short message boiled down to what's important. So it's simple, and it's a message that's going to stick. Simple means it's memorable, meaningful, and something that your audience would act on. So if I saw holistic dog and cat nutrition for LifeWise pet food, I'm going to remember that it's that message, holistic dog nutrition, because number one, I have dogs, so I'm part of the target market. And it's meaningful to me because I'm always looking for food that is healthier for my pets. And then I'm most likely going to act on it by clicking on that site and looking a little further into it. And the next time I go to buy dog food, I might go back to that site because I'm going to remember that it was holistic in nature. So that's the core, the idea of a core message and a simple message. And again, these messages are the way to develop, the reason to develop these messages, create these messages, to get your idea to stick. You want people to listen to you, and you want them to leave your presentation or get off the phone with you, whatever it is, with that message in their head, that you want them to remember it, and sometimes you want them to act on it. Not always, but most cases you want them to do something. So this week, we start to discuss how you translate those core messages by using the success principles. And I'm sure you've already seen there are 6. The first one is simple, which we've already reviewed. The second one is unexpected. Then there's concrete, credible, emotional, and stories. So each week we're going to go through 1 or 2 of these success principles, and you will use them when you create your final presentation. You will use them to translate whatever it is you've decided your core message is. And we have a whole lot of other stuff that goes with that, but that's the basic idea. You want people to, again, remember, understand, and apply to their and apply that message to whatever it is you want them to do. You want them to act on it. Concrete messages, again, we're still on concrete. Concrete messages are not abstract. There aren't extra words or complex language to explain what the core of your idea is, what your intent or purpose is. No abstractness. People should understand it, remember it, and do something with it. Another example from the forum was Letitia, who looked at Johanna Bicycles. Johanna Bicycles' core message is also their tagline, and that's kind of common in some of these websites. The core message can almost always be the tagline. Sometimes they have an additional tagline. So in the Johanna Bicycles, the core message is the original women's mountain bike. You can't get more concrete than that, can you? Pretty much everybody has an idea. They picture a bike, they picture a woman, they picture a bike with fat tires with lots of knobs on them for mountain biking. So that message, that core message is supported by the fact that they use concrete language to tell you what it is. So the simple message tells you the core, and it's a compact message, and then it describes to you exactly what it is. It's supported by the concrete principle. We also look at unexpected this week. And an unexpected message breaks a pattern in the listener's expectations. So the listener is going to expect one thing and you're going to say something else. And they'll have to think a minute, it'll surprise them. And then when they find out what it is you're saying, it's like a light bulb moment. And those light bulb moments, and I'm sure you've experienced this, are very hard to forget. So unexpected is a really good tool to support your core message. An unexpected example is the example by a Nordstrom person who's a customer salesperson who wrapped a customer's gifts that they bought from another store without hesitation, offered to do it and wrapped them for it. So I can imagine if that were you or I in a busy Christmas shopping season, and we stopped at Nordstrom's and we were already tired and maybe a little cranky because we hadn't had anything to eat. And someone says to us, oh, you know what, I'll wrap those packages for you. That would be an unexpected, you would never expect that. And you would be very grateful for it and probably go shopping there again. The way to use that story would be in a message about customer service. So let's say you were training people that you work with how to provide excellent customer service. If you told that story, that's something that they would not forget. And they would think about how they could make their customer service just as extraordinary and unexpected. So a final note for this video is to be sure to check back for these videos each week. My intent is to load them by Saturdays so that you have an opportunity to view it before you post your final post for the week. And I'm going to post them in the discussion forums and then send an email with the video attached. So if you can do that, once you're in the discussion forum, you can also ask questions and provide me more information, or just say, hey, this was really helpful, or no, it wasn't. So I'd appreciate that feedback. And then I'd like to remind you that to do your best in this course, you should read the text as it's assigned and watch all the videos and the information that's in the course, because these are the key ingredients for you to be successful in this class. So I'm really looking forward to this semester, and I will see you in this week's forums. Thanks very much, everyone.